are back with another episode of Coach's Corner, all things UFA. Again, we've got returning coaches joining your boy, Coach Tokes. We got Coach Hendo. He is the coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. And for what, his fourth appearance, Coach Morgan of NC
We are
State.
back.
He is back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you guys on the show again. Appreciate you guys joining in and talking all things UFA. And let's get off right off the hop. We had an update recently um, from EA. Did you feel or see any real differences in the game so far? We'll start with you, Hendo.
So I've only really played two games, and they were both in your league setting. So one against CPU and one against you. Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the game that we played, um, the coverage was nice and tight. Um, I don't know. I would say they nerfed running, right? But then I ran pretty wild that game. I don't know, like less pancake blocks for sure. I mean that was very noticeable. There was a lot less guys hitting the turf on running plays and passing plays, but I don't know. We'll have to get into it more. Um, I mean, online reviews have kind of been mixed. Apparently, there was a couple things that people were really looking forward to that weren't touched on. I think it kind of reflects today's state of gaming. I remember a very, very sweet, nostalgic, in my mind, time where you would buy a cartridge and you would pop it in, and guess what? Guess what, Bubba? That's the game. No patches, no nothing.
That,
It's for better or for worse. That's what you're playing, right? So, I mean, we live in a day and age where you can fix things, but then you argue, well, why are you releasing an unfinished product?
yeah, it's yeah.
Sorry, that's
You
a whole
see.
different rant. I know you're talking about gameplay right now,
No,
but
no, but
yeah.
that's what I was kind of gonna get into. But why will we will get into that? How about you, Coach Morgan? Is anything that you've seen since the patch good, bad, the ugly? Let me know.
I mean, I'm not the deepest into the ins and outs, especially not this year, but I do feel like since the patch, the things that I noticed were crazy got definitely got tuned down on. There's some small, I mean, equipment tweaks that I liked, like the hair coming out of the helmet for more players I like, and small things like that, but I haven't noticed anything major.
Okay, okay. Um, with me, as you said, Hendo, the pancakes were an issue. Now the thing is, though, in our game, we have two good offensive and defensive teams. So I don't believe we were going to see a game where you saw a lot of pancake blocks. Now, I don't know what you played prior to that, but I know I was watching, I believe that was the Temple Charlotte game. I believe there's a ton of pancake blocks. So I think it depends on your rating and how you're kind of running your ball, running your game. You'll
Well,
see those pancakes, but not
in our game,
overly
we've got
excessive.
4 and 5 star guys. We've got 300 pounders blocking 300 pounders,
Right, right,
right? We don't have 5 star and 2 star kind of
right,
stuff going on. One
right.
thing I will mention, though, I mean, there's been a lot of hubbub in the Discord about offsides and penalties and stuff like that. I don't. Did we have any penalties in our game? We
I
didn't have any
don't bel
holding.
I don't
You had one
believe.
false start where you thought
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. I
I got
thought your
offsides
guy.
or whatever.
Yeah,
There's no PI. There was no blocks in the back. There was nothing. There was like what one penalty the whole game.
and that's what I was
So
trying to point out. I'm like, it depends on the discipline of your players. So you're looking at people who are complaining about penalties. I'm like, well, first of all, are you putting them on aggressive? Are they you know are they smart? Do they have the awareness? Do they have the play recognition? Do they have all that? And the CPU this year has been known to try to get guys offside, and that is something that it's been working for a lot of people because they're looking to jump or the CPU on the other side just doesn't have the awareness and they jump off sides. So again, it's hit or miss. Like I said, you'll see games that you'll have 6 penalties, and then you'll have a game where you have none. So
Well, it's
yeah.
pretty wild. I mean, you're at Neyland Stadium with
Mhm.
100,000 plus fans, number 8 ranked stadium for crowd noise and stuff like that, and to not get any well, just the one
Just one. We
um,
had between both of us, we only had
procedure, as
one
we call it
penalty.
in Canada,
Mhm.
right? The procedure
One
penalty.
procedure. Yep.
Yeah.
5 yard procedure penalty. That was it
Well,
in the whole game.
sorry, false start. Remember, we're playing American football here,
Oh,
folks. So
you're right. You're right. I forgot. My apologies. But yeah, there was a bit of buzz on that, uh, and the fact that a lot of people don't realize that it's this these settings are built to kind of show the flaws and show the upgrades you guys have in terms of your team. If you have a weak team, then okay, you're going to have some drawbacks. You're not going to have amazing scores. You're not going to have amazing stats. You definitely can compete, but again, that's going to take the best out of you to coach that team to where you want them to be, and not only just on the field, but also recruiting and even mentoring in terms of whatever your architect is. So yeah, this is not just a pop in the game, jump on and play type of league. You got to be smart with it, and it comes with right down to the NILs, to how many people you get on your roster, how many guys you keep on your roster, how you manage your auto subs, how you manage your wear and tear. All that is a part of coaching, and this is what is supposed to help with. So this is why I think that this league stands out more times than not, and people are just not realizing it or used to it, and that's why they get all frustrated or flustered and so forth. And they like the best thing they can do is they take it out on the person who's running the league, which is me. Before again, uh, we had I guess multiple people have commissioner duties to do things and whatnot. But now that I've kind of had some assistance with the app that I use, the League Copilot that I'm beta testing right now, it helps me arrange things quicker and puts a little immersion into it in terms of the advanced tab, in terms of the channels, in terms of the Heisman top 25, and the Player of the Week tab. So people can't get to the game for. That's all stuff that you can do in the Discord. So that's what I am trying to do. Do a little bit more than others do than just jump on and play. Now, we've seen a lot of scores, some good, some bad, and some ugly. Now, I guess we're at what week are we on? 7? Yeah, I think we're at 7. Yes, so we're pretty much halfway. Um, who is standing out? I know the top 25 is there, but who do you think is a standout in terms of top teams going into the playoffs, user wise? Anyways, let's start with you, Morgan. What do you think? Who's in the top teams there?
I mean, Tennessee's been they've been nice. 5-1's nice in the SEC. We have teams like I mean, Bama 4-2 can be seen as surprising for some people because Bama's just always going to be seen as top dogs. 2 wins in or 2 losses halfway through the season is going to be a little surprising. Florida, with how they've been the past few years, I think is impressive to me to come out there and be 5-0 after losing their quarterback after this last year. And they see Georgia doing what Georgia's been doing for a long time. So that's kind of what I'm seeing so far in the top 25.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree that Georgia doing Georgia things. It's just he's a three-time champ from the Unleashed League. Surprising newcomer with Texas doing his thing. Oregon, he's doing his thing. Now he did state that after this he will be probably retiring from this first season. And then I don't know if I don't know if Hendel. Do you remember Doxy from the Madden days?
the name rings a bell. I don't remember playing him, but the name does sound very
Yeah,
familiar.
so he's taken over Notre Dame and he's been balling out too. It's the whole uh Discord and whatnot is very new to him, so he's definitely trying to coexist and play by the rules. But those are the top four teams, and then of course Tennessee right there with another win. They're now 6-1. So those are the challenging those are the teams that I think that are always going to be up there. What do you say, Hendo, about your look at the top 25 there?
Well, I mean, I have played a few top 25 games now. So I can touch on. So Texas,
Mhm.
they took very, very big advantage of I was getting frustrated with the way my run game was going. I got out of my train tracks of what I like to do. Um, and yeah, he made me pay. So I mean that's a team. Georgia, of course, you can't say anything bad about Georgia, right? Oregon, right? Watch them play. Um, their game against Narbles against UCLA was close for a bit, and then it just again went off the rails. You just gave him an inch, and boom! Next thing you know, he's 3 miles ahead. Um, I don't want to to my own horn, but I'm in the top 10 now at Tennessee, right? So, and then after, winning the third Saturday in October game today, should jump up a little bit. Um, you know, you got to look out for Ohio State. They've got a great roster. They're going to be creeping up. Florida, um, you know, Texas A&M. We'll see how much they slip after a couple weeks, right? Um, yeah, I mean, I played USC at the beginning of the year. Um, Handled them, but they're just getting used to the game, right? They just started playing, so we'll see what they're going to do.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean it's an exciting league, and I mean especially if you're in the SEC. I want to say almost everybody in the SEC is ranked in the top 25. We all got a number beside our name for the most part. Um, who knows? It's these user games. Yeah. So Earls is saying that OSU, they've got USC and Oregon, right? So the USC game, I mean, OSU, the roster, right? They're stacked, especially at receiver with Jeremiah Smith. Um, I can see him taking that one. The game against Oregon, that's going to be the test, right? That's top five. See if he can still stake his claim into the playoffs. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's when you have this many users, and we all took pretty good teams too. So this is what you wanted, Tokes. You wanted a bunch of users fist fighting for their spots in the playoffs. So you got it.
Right, right, and that was my goal. I mean, we did have a small league, and we did get into a lot of CPU stuff, but now, and this is why I don't want to alter a lot of the schedule in terms of putting all these user games against each other in the league, because in the end, you're just knocking each other out, and then you'll have a free range to the playoffs. Well, it was looking like that, but again, CPU has been beating up on some people. I mean, the worst beatdown we saw was JMU getting throttled by Marshall. I think it was 77 to 16 or 50. It was bad.
I still think they put up 40 points. I think it was 77-40 something.
I mean, I have to check because that was
Yeah, I can look too.
that was
But
bad.
hey, I usually play with Mac teams when I do my personal ones.
Okay.
Marshall's no joke. That for the first year, man, like they're pretty good.
Marshall's no joke. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, they've got some players in key spots. They've got a good quarterback. The defense isn't too bad. Like they'll catch you if you don't respect them, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Let's take a
Yeah.
look. 77-35.
77-35.
Yeah.
Yeah, 77-35. And again, the person there that was playing that game was complaining about penalties. And well, they only had two penalties in that game for 20 yards. So again, not too serious. But again, CPU has been beating on in multiple leagues I've seen, has been beating on some people. And I like that because again, a lot of people think it's just a walk in the park. I think some people come from leagues where they simulate and give those forced wins to the CPU. I'm like, no, man, you gotta earn the win. You gotta earn your wins. So play the game. It's not a
Such a good
guarantee.
game. Like this
Yeah,
is a good game.
a very very good game. So
You
I'm
know,
not sure
and
why.
playing CPU games, I can pause it and flip my depth chart. I can do actual coaching stuff
Yeah.
during CPU games, right? Like
Hmm.
if my quarterback's struggling, I can switch. I don't just get the 2 pauses per half or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean,
You got
it's
to be smart with it. You got to be
yeah,
smart. You got to coach. I mean, yes, again, everybody wants to jump in and just play the game, but it's more than, again, football to me. I can definitely ask you both. Football really is more than just on the field, and that's what people are doing, and they're not getting the results they want, so they start complaining and bitching. As we heard in the Discord or read in Discord, some people get very, very personal when it comes to them not getting their way. So, I mean, I don't take these things personal until you attack a sour spot, and I'm like, it is just fluff. Because at the end of the day, turn off the game, go to sleep, wake up, it's a new day. Okay, like I said, I played Handle today, and I lost. Good clean game,
well, you
lost.
knew it was going to happen, so you had already prepped yourself,
This
right?
is not true. This is not true, folks. It's
Yeah,
not true.
you knew it was
I
coming
mean,
down.
I did beat him last season, and I think it knocked him out of the playoffs. But anyways, we're not going to discuss
You did
that.
not. You did
But
not. You did not
anyways,
knock me out of the playoffs
but
because you were high
anyways.
ranked. But I can say one thing here though, and so when everybody's high ranked, like I've got a loss, but I'm
Hmm.
still in the top 10 because
Hmm.
my loss was against a ranked team, right? And I also want to say that as a mechanic, like as the game is built, um, last year's game before NIL, before dynasty points were introduced, if you lost a game, like what are you playing for?
Hmm.
You know, if you're not in the playoffs, what are you doing? But now you're playing to get more dynasty points.
Hmm.
You're playing to build your roster. You're playing for your recruits,
Hmm.
right? There's still lots in hand when you're not a top 12 team. There's lots of stuff that you can still accomplish if you're out of the top 25, if you have some losses. There are things that you can still achieve. Whereas last year's game, in our league, if you lost a game or you lost 2 games and you were out of the playoff picture, what was the point? You're going to win the Mississippi Shit Bowl? Like, who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I
Um,
definitely agree.
but this year's game, it's like, man, I want to get my 200 points for having less than 10 turnovers. I want to get my 300 points for beating Alabama. Like, I want to do this and this and this so I can get the facilities, so I can reduce my guys' wear and tear. I can reduce the cost of recruiting. I think the RPG elements that they've added to running your program are awesome. I mean, I imagine it like a car. Like I take UL Monroe in my offline game, and I've
Hmm.
got 100 points to work with, right? So I'm looking for all the free 2 stars and free 3 stars, which are all punters and fullbacks, by the way. Just taking fullbacks and turning them into wide receivers just because they're 3 stars. Just kidding. Um, but like, so you're under the hood of that car, right? You're driving the 88 Ford Taurus,
Hmm.
and everybody's laughing at you, but you're getting from A to B. You're playing the game, and then I hop under the hood of the Tennessee Volunteers, and I've got like 4,000 points, and my boys are drinking protein infused smoothies in the clubhouse. We're at UL Monroe. We got lucky one week that one of the moms made PB and J for everybody. You know what I mean? But like it's such a huge difference.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. You shouldn't just hop in and just play the game and I'm UL Monroe and we're winning 11 games because I got a crappy schedule, and now I'm a powerhouse.
Mhm.
No, no, you can win 11 games, but you're not a powerhouse. You're still getting changed in the shack beside the field,
And
right? Whereas
that's.
look at our facilities, right?
Hmm.
Alabama, you got
Hmm.
nice. I
Hmm.
got nice stuff. Now
Oh,
we're rolling. But I love that aspect of the game, and it would tempt me to control a lower level team in a league like this, right?
mm,
4 or 5 years down the road, maybe things are built up. Like it's cool, man. This game's great.
yes. Now, talking about points and whatnot, I was watching again Coach Morgan's stream, and he had this philosophy of how he was going to recruit for his school. And for some reason, and I caught a little snippet, and he was not using his NIL points. And I was wondering why, because I mean it's there to use. Is there some type of system that you're not telling us that you know about, Coach Morgan, about these NIL points, and you still signed because you just signed Mr. Pete Parker, Spider Man himself, 3-star, hard commit to NSC. I mean, you let me know what's up. What's the gig?
No, so it's not necessarily that. I kind of went into it. The whole NIL thing is it's new, right?
Mhm.
And my philosophy that I said before the year, I've said it a couple times, is wanting players that want to be there.
Okay.
And so I've been lucky enough to where those players that want to be there, they're not asking for a lot of money, right? And said on my stream earlier today when I was going in showing off my recruiting a little bit was I'm not throwing a bunch at these guys in the beginning if they want to be here. I'll give them what they want, but unless it's a at the moment I'm kind of using it as a last resort. If I'm putting a lot into a player and I'm still not their top school, I'll slide some extra NIL their way to where they're going to want to come over here more. It's going to boost me more up that list.
Mhm.
But the main reason that you're seeing I'm not using a lot of my points is just because a lot of the players I have on my board, they're not asking for a lot because they really want to go to the school and money is not a huge driving factor for them.
Mm. I like that. I like that. Now, I'm in other leagues. I think that's the best way. But I mean, when you have a powerhouse like a Tennessee or like an Alabama, you're gonna throw that money right off the hop because you're kind of you get the pick of the litter, really, right? You
No,
get a good,
exactly. In another
yeah.
league, I'm LSU, and I'm spending a lot more of my NIL and my dynasty points on trying to bring these recruits in just because the talent pool is a lot higher. They're obviously going to want more, they're going to want a lot more money, and also it's going to be a lot more competitive being in the SEC.
Very, very, very true. From both of you, has anybody flipped? Has anybody decommitted from your recruiting board yet?
I have not had anybody. I was trying to flip. I had a 4-star linebacker, um, but they ended up committing to UCLA.
Oh,
Um, but and they were um, a Tennessee product,
okay.
right? Yeah, and yeah, they timed the visit perfectly, and then they went from verbal to hard, bang bang, and I
You
couldn't
said
flip them.
linebacker, correct?
Linebacker, yeah,
Yeah, that's Mr. Sue. Yeah,
yeah.
committed to UCLA.
I was pretty bummed because he's a gem. He's a 4-star gem, right? So um, yeah. But other than that, I have a verbal right now. Here's the thing: a lot of the guys that I'm recruiting don't have anybody else recruiting them, so they don't flip because nobody has offered them anything. So I don't think in any of the games that I've played have I had someone flipped or have I flipped someone. I have
Okay,
not seen it
okay,
yet.
okay. How about you, Morgan? Has anybody? I know you said you have a system, but I mean, again, you're not really going for the high end guys. So, has anybody decommitted or have flipped to another team
No
already?
decommits yet. I haven't flipped anyone or had anyone flipped yet. I got one that I'm kind of trying to get to flip and come over here, but at the moment, I haven't had anyone flip or anyone flip away from me.
I don't think a lot of people realize how recruiting works because again, people usually just jump in and see that first main board of recommended or top and whatnot, not realizing that that doesn't show you everything. It gives you a limit of what is out there. Now, when you go to say, let me see here, if you go to the 4 or 5 star um, uh, menus, you will see more players than you really see in your recommended because again, it can only give you so much. I think it's about 100 or so players per list. So you can see a ton more when you go through their star prospects or whatever however they sort or search. Again, you can, because again, there's probably at least 1,000 prospects per star depending on how much. Most of these 3 stars usually have about 1,000 to 1,500 players there. Fives are not so much. Fours a little bit more. 2 and 1 stars, again, you'll probably have a ton, but who's really looking for those? But again, you never know, right? To fill a roster. Um, what do you think is the hardest thing of this game right now? Whether it's gameplay, recruiting, budget managing. What's the hardest thing that you think is part of this year's game compared to last year's?
Well, I mean, trying to make sure that you spend your points, right? Because they don't accrue. So making sure that you use your points, right? Just getting used to the whole dynasty points system,
Mm.
I would say would be the most difficult. Um, Play action. I have zero time to throw on play action passes. I don't know if the pass if it's broken or what, but like I've got zero time to throw if I call a PA pass. Um, but yeah, those are probably the two things I would say. I mean, defending deep passes versus last year, I've been head topped tons of times
Mhm.
playing this game this year where, if the guys were covered last year on a deep pass, like it was 98% of the time it was getting knocked out, unless it was a 98 receiver versus a 60 overall corner or safety. This year, I've had 90 overall corners getting mossed by 70 overall receivers just because the angle the ball comes in,
Mhm.
and then I guess my DB goes to catch it and they catch it. And since there's no contact, he comes down with it and then he holds it through the tackle. Whereas last year, even if your guy would go to catch it, as soon as it got in their hands, he would revert from catching it
And
to
then yes.
making contact and knock it out. This year, they follow through on the full catch animation, so you
Mhm.
don't have a chance to knock it out. But yeah, I mean, defending the inside run has been tough too when you're in nickel. I found that to be a bit difficult this year too.
Okay.
Um, but it's good. That's how it should be. I mean, if you're in nickel and you're going spread and you're sending cornerbacks to blitz, or you're in a passive zone, you should pay the price, right? Your guys shouldn't be able to do everything. You
Yeah.
you should have to. It should be a chess match.
It should be a
Your
strength
board's
thing.
not full of queens,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you've got to attack teams certain ways, right? Like if you're playing me, running the ball is probably going to be tough unless you can get your guy if you unless you can beat my contain, right?
Mhm.
I've got two All-American linebackers. Um, like you when you play teams. I mean, when I play Texas, their team he's got 90 overalls at every position.
Mhm.
They're good. They can do whatever they want.
Mhm.
So if I play a super passive pass defense and they run the ball up the middle, I should give up 8 yards, and I'm
That's
okay
how
with
it is.
that,
Mhm.
right? And then I just give it the off shucks. I'll call better defense next time,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. How about you, Coach Morgan? Toughest part of the game here for you.
I think a lot of it for me has been, I mean, kind of scheme, especially defensively. I've struggled with what to call in what situations. And then offensively, I'm somewhat struggling with kind of just taking more time before the play to kind of look around and make better decisions before playing, have a better read before the play. And then just like with what Hendo said, probably trying a better way to go and spend more of my budget than I'm spending now. Making a better look at that, whether it's better facilities upgrades, better equipment, better training things, anything like that. Just trying to get a more of a better understanding of the game and all of the features. Getting it locked in for me is probably the biggest thing I'm trying to work on right now.
Okay. 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 For me, um, again, many years, I've been using or usering the defensive tackle, defensive ends. I've now been challenging myself to step away from that, and I only do that because the teams that I've been using have pretty much amazing, you know, amazing fronts. So why am I going to use that if they can do it on their own? So I've been trying to teach myself to use the middle linebacker, or even the will or the will or the Sam linebacker, and try to help kind of in the passing stage of things. But it's tough for me just to transition for that. And then also on the offensive side, like Morgan was saying, as a football mind, I think I'm already thinking 3 steps ahead, thinking that I see this formation, I'm going to be open. And then as a quarterback, starting it, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I just threw a pick because it wasn't open. The disguise is there, the shell is there, but in reality, it wasn't open, and it wasn't going to be open. But that's me not being patient. I have to now take my time and let the play develop and then hit it. But yeah, like Kendall says, play action, there is no time. There is no time. I don't think any of the play actions you get enough time to do anything, unless again it's one of those slides or sprints off to the side, so you force yourself out to a certain spot to get access to the play. But other than that, yeah, play action is toast. You can't do anything with that. I love all aspects of the off the field stuff. I can't wait for the off season because again, you're going to get those rewards for your tasks that you've done from your AD. The guys who you think are going to stay because they had an amazing year will either stay but ask for more money, or say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to go to the pros, right? So again, you could have an amazing receiver. Yeah, Earls has Ohio State, and he has Bo Jackson. If he runs for 1,500 yards, he might say, you know what, I want to go pro, and the only way you stop him from going pro is you have to give him some more money, and that's going to hit your bottom line if you don't have enough money, or you might have to say, you know what, bye bye to this receiver or that receiver because you want to keep this bell cow, right? So again, the whole RPG part of this, I can't wait. I can't wait because again, there's a lot of people who have great teams and they're going to be hurting because of the expectation of you being in that role as the coach of Tennessee, Alabama, Oregon, and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be a good time. Good time. Um, Again, there's been some talks about some of the sanctions. What's your take on the sanctions, guys? I mean, you can be straight about it. I mean, I've given a couple sanctions about what was it about not RTAing or not streaming. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The rules say, hey, if you're not streaming, then you're getting a sanction. If you're not RTA and you hold up the league, you're getting a sanction. I mean, what's your take on these? Are they too rough, too harsh, or are they just enough? Let's hear it.
I have never been a fan of punishing someone for not RTAing. Um, I think if we have a league where we say advance is on Tuesday at 9 Central and Friday at 9 Central, right? Like you have until then, and RTAing is a luxury if you have a league that's synergized and everybody's like chomping at the bit and getting their games done, then great. So maybe we can get an extra day for our next turnaround. But like, man, I'm just thinking of the guys that we have in our league here. We've got our commissioner. You know, um, you've got many interests in your leagues and all this stuff. You're a busy guy. We got one guy who plays in his freaking truck all across the country. You know, we've got Midgie, whose kids and animals are bugging him the whole time he's playing. You know, like I've got a young kid, and once August, September, and October hit, like I'm gonna be super unavailable, right? Like, and it's tough. Like sometimes, like I have it on auto RTA now, right? Because I do all my stuff, and then sometimes I play my game if it's a computer game at 10:30 at night when I have time, and I win my game maybe barely or whatever, and I'm like, ah. Oh. and then I turned my game off and I forgot to RTA. And it's Thursday night going into Friday. Next thing you know, I'm getting notifications on my Discord saying, "Oh, I guess the Stanford running back isn't playing for 3 weeks because Coach Hendo didn't RTA." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm at work and maybe I forgot to put my lunch in the fridge. Now I'm all pissed off because it's some virtual league that I'm playing and I got a guy, So it's tough. Like when we have till 9 p.m. on Friday, like I should have that. Advancing early is a luxury, right? No, I mean, and there's stuff, the gameplay stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you're exploiting stuff in the system, and again, it's tougher now than it was, let's say, when we played the game 10 years ago, right? What was it in NHL '94? Like the backhand, forehand, goal glitch. You can't do that stuff as much anymore, right? I tried running my rocket tosses against you today, and those things I usually get the edge on those, but ever since the patch, they've been playing contain better. I take a look at Notre Dame. He's got an 83 or 82 overall freshman running back who's averaging like 9 yards a carry. He only had 3 carries for 6 yards in his last game. I don't know if he had to leave him out or what, but yeah, I mean, if you're the thing that I'm concerned about, one thing that I ran into last year was somebody going for it on 4th down in unrealistic situations. Like we're playing college football, it's tough. It's tough to stop teams, and people will be like, "Oh, well, guy goes for it on 4th down, like you just stop him." It's like, well, it's hard. Like when you're playing a top flight team where you got guys who are 92 overall, they're falling forward for a yard. They're doing this, but like we're striving for realism. There's no team that would go for it on 4th down when they're up a touchdown on their own 35-yard line when it's fourth and 3. There's not a program in the whole country that would do that, right? So I get it. We're playing a video game, but if we're striving for realism, then play real. I mean, the PS2 set of Madden games had a fair play option, if you guys remember. If you guys are old enough to remember those games. Coach Morgan might not be, but I know Tokes is for sure. I see the gray in that beard. Like the game had a fair play toggle in the options. You couldn't go for it unless statistically you had more than a 60%, like if the metrics weren't 60% or more, to go for it on that down. You had to punt. The game would force you
It would lock you
to
in.
punt or kick the field goal or whatever. So yeah, I thought that was cool. And we do that ourselves here as a policing nation. And I love it. I love the live now. I can pop into games and see how people are playing their games and what their tendencies are. It's great. It's great. Sorry, I'm getting very ranty. I got I'm drinking my Diet Orange Crush, and I'm just hyped.
What about the young man, Morgan, Coach?
Yeah, definitely. Like my biggest thing with the sanctions is having warnings and making sure that the ground is set so the sanctions don't come out of nowhere. And I think in this league, we've done a great job of making sure ahead of time, this is a standard. This is what we want. If this doesn't happen, you will get these sorts of sanctions. So that's where, when it comes down to it, I'm fully okay with it. There's sometimes I see like the RTA, sometimes I get how it can be with what Hendo is saying, to where it's not like advancing early is a luxury, but with how long this league's been a whole like RTAing is a big thing. I think if people don't RTA with how much we've brought it up, then yeah, maybe a sanction is the right thing to do. I think to me, it's all about how hard we set the grounds for that to be the case. And if the grounds are set enough, then I think it's more than okay to give them a sanction.
Right, but like I mean, last year, I mean, I've been in the league since the beginning, and there was one time I played an 11 p.m. game the night before advance, right? Because that's the time I could do it. I did my recruiting, I did everything. The only thing I didn't do was RTA, right? And I just advance is advance. It's not like was a repeat offender and all that stuff. It's just the advancing thing is just like if we advance on Tuesdays and Fridays, that's what we do. That's the schedule. And I'm gonna be the biggest person to be adamant about it once I start my coaching,
Mhm.
right? Like I'm gonna need to play my Tuesday advance games on the weekend
Right.
because I'm not gonna be able to play it Monday, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to play it. You know what I mean? Because I got game planning, I got film, I got administrative stuff that I got to do, and I'm gonna have to play my Friday advance game. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna have to be late during the week. That's just because all my games are on Thursdays and Fridays, right? So like I'm gonna need that time. And I'm telling you, if I slip in and play a game at midnight, and I do all my stuff, but I forget to RTA, which I won't because I did the auto thing this year, but like I would just be choked, right? And if I'm stressing over a virtual league, and listen, I'm not crapping on how important this is.
Mhm.
I love the fact that you love this league and you want to run it like a business.
Mhm.
I'm all about it. That's why this is the only league that I'm in, because I want to be in leagues like that. I don't want to run into people and I'm getting halfback screened every freaking third play, or I got guys going on 4th and 9, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? If I want to do that, I'll play Ultimate Team. Um, but yeah, I'm just looking for cheesy play. When I think about sanctions, I'm just thinking about guys just not playing football, right? And then people complain about the wear and tear and about how their running backs are getting knocked out, not coming back in games. I mean, I run the ball more than anybody. My number one running back's fine, right? I, right? I have backups. I don't run them 4 plays in a row, right? Like I think about as a coach in high school. If I am on a drive and I run the ball with the same kid 4 plays in a row, he's gonna be freaking gassed. And especially if it's like 11-yard gain, 8-yard gain, he had to break a tackle, gets the first down on a 2-yard run, gets tackled by 3 guys. He gets a defensive tackle who lands on top of him. Like he's probably not going to be 100%. He's probably not going to run as fast as he did before, and he's not going to be the same player when the third quarter rolls around, right? So, I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love having a feature back. Again, Tokes and I grew up during the era where you had the Sean Alexanders, the Matt Fortes, the
Mhm.
Marshall Falks, the guys that were in the game and they're getting 30, 35 touches. Awesome. Cool. But we don't live in that era anymore. We live in the non-conditioning era of football where everything is you spread the touches around, you're not running dudes into dudes up the middle of the field as much anymore. And if you want your guy to have 35 carries, great, but he's not going to be the same player into the next week.
Totally agree on that. And yes, you're 100% right. I guess just to touch on a few things you guys have said, the sanctions. You know what? I did set rules, and maybe the RTA rule was a bit much, but I think if it wasn't for the auto feature that it has, because again, because we have a 2 day advance, Tuesday and Friday, advancing early, yes, it's a luxury, but it's a great feeling. The fact that you've got it done in that much time, that means it shows commitment to what we're doing here. It's not just putting it off because we have other people who will let it wait till the last game and they're the last game and there's no communication whatsoever. I mean, then all of a sudden it's played, and usually the game will advance on its own when all of the teams are RTA. So I don't have to rush home at 6 o'clock to go do all that stuff. No, I can get it, let it advance, and I'll update the Discord later, and we'll be on the next week. That's what it was. But I mean, I get it. I don't think sanctions really shouldn't be uh, the the end all of RTAs, but warnings should be out there. I think because again, it's just a matter of just clicking a button, right? And yes, playing a game at 12 o'clock in the morning after a long day of whatever, doing what you need to do, and then poof, okay, I get it. But again, that's few and far between with the folks that we have in here because we won't be
Well,
sitting here.
and you just nailed it on the head.
Mhm.
We have a group of players and users who we self-police. We've got a great locker room. When stuff goes awry, it doesn't just have to be the commissioner that says something. You have people that will say, "Hey, what the hell?"
Yep.
Right? And that's great. That's what we should do.
Exactly.
But hey, can we do some shout outs for some guys in the league real quick? We've
Sure.
gotten awfully serious, but I want to talk about some performances. Can we do players of the week in the Heisman Watch?
Yeah, of course.
So let's talk about our players of the week from the week before. Okay. Both user
Okay.
players. I'm talking about national players of the week. I'm not
Yeah.
going into conferences here, right?
Mhm,
But let's
mhm.
talk about our defensive player of the week, Keaton Thomas from Ole Miss. Okay. Playing Vanderbilt, they won 41-16.
Yeah.
This Sam linebacker had 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, a pick, 3 pass breakups,
And
and a touchdown on that pick. That was a pick 6, right?
Shout out.
That's a
Shout out to Bash.
huge week for a defender. To have 3
Most
pass breakups as a Sam linebacker, that's awesome. Those are the types of dudes you like to have on your defense, right?
Absolutely.
Now, a little bittersweet for our boy Midgie. Okay. Offensive player of the week, Nicholas Herman from the JMU Dogs. He had 19 carries for 241 yards, 12.7 average, 4, count them, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 catch for -2 yards. But what a big day for that young man at the halfback spot. Unfortunately, in a 37-29 loss versus Georgia Southern. But you would think you have a guy rumble for 240 yards.
But again, this is why I love the league, and this is why I love the game right now, because you can have a top performer and still lose the game. Whereas last year and the year before, yeah, that game is already done. Right? That game's already
While
done.
we are on the subject of
Mhm.
Midgie and JMU, I do have a final report. Georgia State beats JMU 33-20. James Madison takes their 6th loss of the year.
That's tough.
Oh, that is tough. That is tough. Now, this brings up an interesting topic. Does a person like Midgie lose his job year one? I mean, record plus 80 expectations. What could happen?
Was JMU all juiced up because of how the success that they had
I do
last
believe
year?
so.
Is their
I
AD
do.
all juiced up?
I believe so. I mean, we would have to
Probably,
talk to
yeah.
myself. Yeah.
Oh man, is he going to be the defensive coordinator at Kent State? We've seen that in our league before.
Someone went from head coach to coordinator real quick, and you know what? Speaking of soccer, soccer boy. Yeah, we're gonna call him out.
Yeah,
He is still yet to win a game this season.
0-6.
Yeah. So, due to the commissioner's relegation rule, he might have to drop down to a lower tier with that team. Would you think that's a good thing for him to go into a lower tier, because he did?
Have you done any research on what it does to his budget?
He's gonna take a hit. Yes.
Right.
Not as much. Oh, there's Midgie right there. Midgie is rating us, folks. Welcome, Midgie. You're more than welcome to join the show. We just heard that the James Madison University lost to Georgia State 33-20. And I'm looking at the stats right now. And, it's tough. It is tough.
That's all he's got to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
James Madison.
Quick to the point. There we go.
Yeah. That's all we got to say. The question is now, is Midgie a possibility that he's going to lose his job, though? That's the thing. I mean, I love the fact that, hey, it's a possibility, because I mean, on my offline dynasties, I was using Bama just for testing purposes and whatnot, and I put in my sliders and whatnot, and I got fired year two. Year two, I was canned. I had to go to Illinois. I'm like, okay, this is real, right? So so
So
speaking of that though, do we move uh him or anybody that was having a very bad season to a lower tier? Now again, Jamie's already in a lower tier, so I don't know, right? If going lower it would help him. He might need a new position somewhere.
well, I mean, moving to a lower tier would get a couple more wins, right? Could bump up that championship contender grade, which is big with some
Yep.
recruits.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I mean, taking that job at Virginia, that's his school, right? That's his favorite spot,
Uh
is it not?
no, that's soccer's Virginia right now. That's his school. JMU is his school.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, JMU. Um, I don't know. I mean, he flings it all over the field,
he
right?
does.
He's
He
passing the
does,
hell out of
man.
that ball.
He does.
Um, it's hard. Teams are built for that now, right? Um, yeah, I mean, what's lower than the Sun Belt? Are you gonna chuck them in the MAC? Like,
I mean,
is that lower? I mean,
I mean,
um,
based on the technicality, yes.
now the JMU coach still has a 69% approval rating,
Yeah. Yeah.
safe for now, as it
Hmm.
says. But our lowest rated user right now is Jimbo Jones from Virginia.
Hmm.
He's on the hot seat at 47%.
Hmm.
I cannot see what his do's and don'ts are.
Right.
Um, but in terms of users, we've got Oklahoma at 65%
Right.
right now. We've got UCLA at 66%.
Hmm.
USC's at 69%. James Madison at 69. Ole Miss at 69. Right? So I feel like these guys that are 60% or higher still have that little bit of leeway, right? Just get 6 wins. Get your
Yes.
school a bowl game. You know, keep in mind, Ole Miss, he's 2-0 as a coach, right? Because he hopped in late,
Yes.
right? So he'll hop on up, right? Um, but yeah, it's tough. You pick a high level school, you pick you're gonna have those expectations, and with you know great power comes great responsibility, Uncle Ben. Right? I mean, I took the Tennessee Volunteers. I did not want to go rebuilding like I did last year. I wanted to hop right in to the hunt in the SEC. I didn't want to play around in the ACC and all that stuff. Like, um, but I also had the confidence to do so. Winning the championship in the last year. Um, Now the tiering system again, it has its drawbacks, right? You're going to lose some of your budget. You're going to lose your conference prestige for recruiting. But listen, bear down, recruit in state, use your pipelines, only take guys whose deal breakers align with your school strengths. Like, how can you be surprised if you have a guy that's championship contender deal breaker and you're not in the top 20? Like, what? Like, why even offer? Like, it literally tells you what he's looking for: proximity to home. Okay. Like, unless no one else is recruiting them, they want to stay in their home state. So if
Agreed.
you're in Ohio, why are you recruiting a guy from Texas? Oh, well, he fits my scheme. There are 3,000 young athletes. I'm sure you can find somebody who fits your prototype a little bit closer to home, or somebody that
Agreed.
again aligns more with your school, right? But hey,
Agreed.
crazy game breaking glitch. Did you notice at the beginning that if you were Hawaii and your recruit was from Hawaii, you were getting an F
F.
for
Yeah.
proximity to home? Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. It
good
didn't
job,
make any sense.
EA.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. They say they fixed it, but they didn't fix it yet. So
It's so
it's
dumb.
still a work in progress. Now, with that being said, and with a lot of people playing the way they play, there's still a few tweaks that's going to be happening, including one of my personal faves that I want nerfed is that speed boost. they're going to be taking that out next patch, meaning that graphical edge you get for shifting fast enough with any or with any running back or receiver. They're taking that out. What's your take on that? People say it's skills. People say it's stick skills because this person has shifty or whatever, and it really isn't. It is a ones and zeros problem that they are trying to graphically correct, and they're taking away the speed boost. What's your take on that?
Well, the fact that it was a thing last year and it's still a thing this year is kind of dumb, right? Um, it's it's hard because you get the speed boost from a soft juke with the left stick,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
their intent was if you're running straight and you reef your stick to the left, your guy does a short juke to just try to get a better angle,
Correct.
right? And it turns out that it gives you a boost of speed, right? Now, when I'm running the ball and I'm going outside and my tight end or my H back or my fullback kicks out the end and I got to put my foot in the ground and cut up because my lane's changed,
Right.
I get a speed boost. But what am I supposed to do? Not read my blocks and cut? So if
Well,
they take it out, awesome, right? If it but like how are they going to do it? They've had a whole game cycle. Like it was a problem last year.
the question is
So
the question is where did it come from? That's the problem.
right.
They don't know where
It's
it
an
came from.
animation.
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
So
just the animation, right?
whatever. I think they're still on the Frostbite engine. So again, it's something that they've changed from one engine to the other to create this graphic anomaly that is giving everybody supposedly skills to do this speed boost. But hey, it is what it is. How about you, Morgan? Is there anything that is outstanding that you want taken out of the game that is bothering you?
No, I'm pretty set with where it's at. I mean, obviously the speed boost is frustrating because it's not realistic. Obviously, there are going to be people that like it just because they want faster gameplay, but you could do faster gameplay without a speed boost that's nowhere near realistic. That makes you go from one speed to a speed that's nowhere near the same.
This is true. This is definitely true. See, I remember back in the day in the Madden leagues I used to play or run. I had the gameplay. You can change the game speed of the game. It was either normal, slow, or fast. And most times I'd put it on slow, just because again you're watching the game. It shouldn't be like a Speedy Gonzalez track meet every single time. No, you gotta you gotta watch things and see things progress and whatnot. You gotta see it because that's what I do. I mean, when I have the ball, I'm
Oh, you cut out, man. I can't hear you.
where your quarterback is. Again, coming from
Oh,
a
there he goes.
person, so that's how it is for me, anyways. But again, that's just me talking about my ghost or
Well, I
whatever.
mean, I want if Chris Johnson was running, I want him to run the 40 in 4.3. You know what I mean? Like I want that speed. I don't want slow motion, but
True, but it's just
um,
relative, though.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I want it to
relative.
be realistic. I want. I don't want guys to be sticky. I want a guy who has 99 speed to be faster than a guy who has 90 speed. I
Correct.
want a guy who has 95 strength to dummy a guy who has 60 strength.
Right.
Is it too much to ask? Right?
Well, again,
From EA, like
it
I
isn't.
don't we see it again and again when people are given they had to put something in the game where if you want to manually um oh Ohio State talking shit. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, take him down for me, man. Um everybody just wants speed. Everybody wants just pure badass speed, right? Because Once you get behind the defense, you're gone. Or if you make a mistake when you're on defense, you can make up for it by getting there. But that's realistic in the world. I mean, I'll take a kid who is the fastest in the league but doesn't have awareness. But it's not the be all end all. Like, I've had league all-stars in real life who aren't even in the top 10 fastest guys on my team, but they know where to go. Or, they know how to read routes, or they know where to be. And I feel like one of the big talking points for this game this year was that a DB, Ohio State owns Texas recruiting. No, we're not. No, you can't. Delete that comment. We're keeping it as in you
Look at
say
that.
you're going to beat his ass.
He's
But, they were saying, oh, if you have a DB that is 86 speed, he should be able to, if he's really good, he should be able to lock down a receiver with more speed than him. There should be interactions and animations between players where a stronger, headier DB can beat a receiver whose only attribute is speed. I see it a little bit, but I haven't seen it a ton. Again,
Nope.
When you have games that have a yearly release, what are you going to do? Right? Like, we still buy it. EA is going to take our money. They were trying to get you to buy freaking coach levels and stuff this year, and it took some of their more famous streamers, who they pay, by the way, to say that it was stupid. Yeah. Again, I'm ranting again. It's just the whole system, man. It just pisses me off.
All right. Well, let's shut her down now. Again, we've gone for an hour, so again, we might have another episode another time, maybe tomorrow. Closing thoughts in terms of the league so far. Anything that you are looking to change or wanting to change, or anything that you're looking forward to? Start with you, Coach Morgan.
Man, league's been a lot of fun this year so far. Excited to keep going with it. Hopefully, put a couple more wins on the season, and keep the wins coming all year.
All right. You, Coach Hendo.
I'm just excited to see how the rest of the season goes. I've got a few recruits that I'm looking to lock down. It's been good. I feel like the competition's been good. I hate seeing our guys take CPU losses, but I feel like if they take the losses and realize why they're losing, you just got to play better football.
Absolutely.
Play football. You got to run to establish the pass. You got to pass to establish the run. You got to PA. You can't just blitz all the time. You got to call some man. You can't just sit back. You got to know situations. You got to know who you're playing. If you're playing Georgia Tech, they run the wishbone. They run the option. You know what I mean? You're playing Army. You're playing Navy. You're going to have to spread your defense out. You're going to have to guard the run. You're playing Ohio State. They're probably going to go to Smith, right? Earl throws the ball. I run the ball. Every game isn't the same. I guess I'm blessed. I'm good at video games, right? So playing the CPU and the fact that I run the ball a ton, it works for me. It keeps the game. I control the games. I don't want to see guys lose their favorite teams, because I think it sucks to not be your favorite team. By the time we got in the fourth season last year, when I was Stanford, I was like, man, I really wish I took Tennessee. I would love to be doing this at Tennessee. I'd be having way more fun, singing Rocket Top every time I score a touchdown, right? But I don't want to see Midgie lose the Dukes. I don't want to see Soccer Boy lose Virginia. Like, you want to wear your colors and be your team. I wish we could take the firing off. That if your team tanks, your team tanks. If your team's going to suck, you're going to suck. But you know what? You just take the whole community down with you, man. They're stuck with your ass. You own the team, right? You're the $1 billion booster. You just do whatever the hell you want. You own that team now. And if you
That's
want to make
called
them 55
That's
overall,
GM mode. That's AD mode. That's
it,
not here right now. You're gonna get
right.
fired. If you suck, you're gonna fire. That's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, I mean, I thought I'm thinking the league is going well so far. We have, like I said, some great players. I was actually watching, and this would be shocking to you, that I was watching Georgia having trouble against Vanderbilt. They almost lost that game. So when you have the three-time champ who is undefeated almost lose to Vandy, I know the league's in a good place then in terms of the skill level. So again, any given Saturday, that's what it is. Any given Saturday, it can happen.
Hey,
And
there's
it will
Tennessee
happen.
schools, man. Don't crap on Vanderbilt.
I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. I just love the parity of the league. Good players and good teams will win. Not so good players will lose. They just have to bounce back. Like you said, play football. Don't play the video game. Play football. You play football, you win. I mean, football from your depth chart to your auto subs to your wear and tear, that is still football. If you don't manage that, something's going to happen and you'll lose a guy for 8 weeks and then you'll start crying wolf. Like I believe Midgie was here saying he had 11 penalties one game, and in this game he has none. Well, yeah, that's football. Sometimes it happens. If you're on the road playing in a place like Rocky Top, yeah, you're gonna get some penalties because it's hard to freaking manage, especially when you're a lower tier team. But hey, I digress. Anyways, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games played already. We're waiting for the rest to go through. Again, we're definitely gonna have some statements dropped from the commissioner about certain things we've talked about. With that being said, folks, it's been a pleasure. We'll probably do it again soon. If anybody can get on, we'll do it again. But other than that, you guys have a great one, and we'll talk to you again soon. Coach Tokes, Coach Hendo, Coach Morgan.